What's up, everybody? Welcome in to another edition of the Celtics Talk podcast here on the NBC Sports Boston
a long pause.
Podcast Network. It's been a day. Abby.
There were lobsters. The day started off with lobsters here inside TD Garden, and I had some hope. Forsberg, I felt that the Celtics would split these two games. I was just, with the lobsters, I had some hope, and then it was all shot to HE double hockey sticks.
And then they took the claw crackers right to my soul. Celtics lose.
Where you have to go to California. We have to fly to California.
Probably twice.
4 more times.
And this is no way depressing. But
first world problems. I know.
I know. We're aware. But let's start here. So
okay.
Celtics score 6 points over the final 7 minutes, 32 seconds as the Warriors run away with this one. 17-3 run, 21-6, something like that. What's your biggest takeaway from that?
Well, from that, it's that the Celtics did not execute on offense. Plain and simple. A lot of bricks, a lot of turnovers.
That's why we pay you the big bucks.
No, you're not looking for coach speak?
To make Miss League.
I mean, that has been the fear, right? In all of these games, that it will come down to a clutch time situation. The Celtics get one for the first time in the series for what feels like the first time in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the same issues crop up. And talking to the players afterwards, they are not that concerned. I am concerned. Just because we have not seen them do it.
Well, I would love to know why they're not concerned when now they have to win 2 out of 3 on the road, or potentially at least 1 on the road in a best-of-3 series. But
they're not concerned because they've done it before. They continue to put themselves in these situations, backs up against the wall. That is when they dial up that focus, dial up the execution, and come through.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great story, and I wish I could be more optimistic about it. But at some point, I keep using this analogy. You keep shooting yourself in the foot. You don't have any toes left. And I just fear that they have made this path exponentially more difficult at every turn. And it used to be cute. It used to be like, oh, hey, if it wasn't if it was easy, it wouldn't be us.
Yeah.
And now it's like, man, I don't know. I hate to be in a bad mood.
I will say, Jayson Tatum was asked that tonight, and he said, we're not doing it on purpose. We're trying really hard.
Sometimes it feels like it.
And I will say, as long as you don't shoot off your big toe and your little toe, right? You can survive. This happens. It's game 4.
I don't even know. Like, little toe feels superfluous anyway.
No,
so.
Little toe. I've come to learn. You need that. It's huge. If you lose your little toe, all the balance is gone.
You learn something new.
I don't know why I know that.
Every single day.
I really do.
All right. Well.
Look it up.
Let me go down my checklist of
Wait, what
frustration.
is your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway is that so much was made before this series about whether the experience factor would come into play. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, and I hate giving the Celtics the out that they're young. They're young in age, but they've played a ton of big games. And I know it's not NBA Finals games, but it's Eastern Conference Finals games. It's big playoff games. It's Game 7s in this playoff round. And yet, here on the biggest stage, you have someone like Steph Curry who is just unflappable and goes out there and dominates in the third quarter and gets them back in it. And then they make every right play down the stretch and they clog up the paint and they challenge you to shoot threes and you fall into their trap and the more experienced team wins. I don't necessarily think, watching this, that the Golden State Warriors are the better team.
I agree.
But they are clearly the more experienced team. They are clearly the team that knows how to get to the finish line of games like this. And so...
they have Steph Curry.
Yeah, that matters, but the Celtics have Jayson Tatum, which brings us to our next topic.
All right.
How are we feeling about Jayson Tatum and a couple of postseason clunkers in terms of shooting the ball?
I feel fine about Jayson Tatum. I asked him specifically, you not being able to find this rhythm, the indecisiveness that you say you were dealing with tonight, is that the Warriors' defense or is that you? And he said, absolutely, I take responsibility for that. I know that I can be better. There was a follow-up that asked, do you feel like you're putting too much pressure on yourself? And he literally laughed out loud. It was like, no, I know I can be better. So it's not pressure. But
you can still know you can be better, but also be putting too much pressure on yourself.
But we've seen him do it. He knows he's capable of it.
Right.
And so, no, I am not that concerned. I do feel like Jayson will figure this out, whether that turns into a 40-point outburst like we saw tonight from Steph Curry, but I feel like he will start to figure it out. And for him, the way he's talking about it, he just needs to make the right play. He's trying to balance how to get himself going while also work within the
Sure.
team system. And that is what Ime said they were doing tonight. He felt like that stagnant, why they got stagnant, is they were trying to attack mismatches too much and trying to find that balance. And all I could think, I couldn't quite put it into a tweet form, but like, where has all the ball movement gone? I'm sorry. I
You
try
know
really
it's
hard
way too
not
late.
to sing
This podcast has
on
already
that.
gone off the
And
rails.
It was just lost tonight. And so I have confidence in this group until we are proven wrong. They have done it every time.
I'm not going to
especially
recover.
Jayson.
I'm not going to recover from where I was.
Where have all the assists gone? I gotta get.
I actually thought, I'm eager to go back and watch those last 7 minutes again, as much of a train wreck as they were. I actually think they had spurts where they did attack the basket, and they did have good shots. They missed badly on some of them. Like
Yes.
Al had a bad miss. I mean, he made one, but I mean, Jalen
Marcus
airballed one, I
had a
believe.
couple. Yeah.
So I'm eager to go back and see. Was it as bad as it seems, or were they making the right play? They just didn't make shots. So there could be a balance there. But for Tatum, there is, like, he's got to find that middle ground. He's got to play make. He's got to, find the right balance for scoring. You can't just say, go out there and score 50 points. But we keep waiting for that game. The only thing that gives me a little bit of hope would be we've seen a lot of big road performances in this playoffs.
Yes.
Jimmy Butler coming into Boston, Steph Curry coming into Boston. Steph Curry coming into Boston. Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't seen a lot. And then obviously Jayson Tatum going into Milwaukee and having a big night. So there's always this notion that he could go up there and have a big game 5, and now you're coming home and you're feeling good about yourself. But I'm left just with a little bit, and I'm guilty of riding the roller coaster. I was really bullish after 2-1, not so bullish after 2-2, maybe just because I'm frustrated and having to think about like how much of a slog it's going to be from here. My concern, here's my biggest concern. Did anyone say anything about Rob in that locker room?
Ime said he did not know.
That's not
He hadn't
good.
heard.
Not good, because Robert Williams was their best player tonight.
Yes, he was. In that first half, he was phenomenal. Just as he was in Game 3. He raises their level of defense and gives them a presence at the rim offensively when plays break down.
I thought we were going to spend this whole
I
podcast
thought you
gushing
had
about Rob.
an inside look at Rob and what's going on with that knee. Got any insights?
No, I mean, he tried to kind of stretch himself out a little bit after he tweaked it again. Looked like he landed a little awkwardly. And, we've seen this where he's done that and sometimes comes back into the game, sometimes doesn't play the rest of the game, is ready for the next game. 2 days off helps. But I do think he's
mixed in there.
But I keep doing the but. He is vital to whatever happens next, and I do think they're just a different team when Rob is out there. We saw that so many times. I thought he had an amazing first quarter, set the tone, was everywhere, the rebounding, and then late he just didn't have it. Like, that was part of the reason the Warriors were able to accelerate away late. They got a bunch of second chance efforts. Looney was on the glass. They were winning 50-50 balls. I couldn't tell if the Celtics were just tired or...
No, I don't think that was it.
No?
No, I mean, it was...
Just an effort thing, because that's even more concerning than the tired part.
That's what it... No, I don't think it was an effort thing. I think that the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry are really, really good. This is one of the best defensive teams in the league. And they were inside their heads about, offensively, making decisions and making quick decisions. And as soon as you hesitate in this league, it's a matter of a fraction of a second, and then the defense is loaded up on you.
All right.
I don't know what it is. I usually ride the roller coaster. I feel fine. I assumed the Celtics would
You
lose
assumed
tonight.
the roller coaster was going to
I
continue.
was hopeful, but this is nothing different from what I expected. So
right.
Let's go. The Celtics have the best road record in the playoffs this season.
All right, I'm buying what you're selling there. A couple quick hitters.
Okay.
Should Jayson Tatum be banned from bringing friends to the game anymore? Nelly,
Who was here? Oh, Bradley Beal.
and Javonte Green.
Don't the Javonte Green slander, but Bradley Beal maybe.
Oh.
Did you see the clip of Beal getting the message from Jayson Tatum and getting emotional?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Really inspired
Maybe
Jayson
it is
tonight.
too much. No, I don't think that's a thing. But we can't ban everyone from St. Lou coming in.
I'm just saying.
Drew Hanlon has been around for much of the series.
What was funny was Javonte came out, and so I was trying to goad him. I told you into coming on the podcast, and he had things to do. But I said, "Hey, I'm not gonna. You're not allowed to come anymore if you're just gonna jinx Tatum." And he goes, "Yeah, I was here for another game this year, and they kicked away a 10-point fourth quarter lead and lost." So I'm left to assume Javonte Green.
He has one of my favorite former Celtics, though. So funny. That would be
I do miss him.
sad. I know. Me too.
I told him, I said, the Celtics could have used a player like you earlier this season, before Derek White arrived, like when they needed another sort of athletic wing type that wasn't Dennis Schroeder. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. Best game you've ever seen from Andrew?
Anyone but Dennis Schroeder, really. I think
love that.
would have helped.
I love that half of our podcasts end with just Dennis Schroeder slander. Best game from Andrew Wiggins you've ever seen?
I will be honest with you, I haven't seen a ton of games from Andrew Wiggins. But yes, I mean, that's what he brings for this team, though, is defensively, he is the guy who has size, who has that athleticism, something that they have been lacking, particularly with Klay Thompson still coming off of those injuries. And so, yes, that is his role, and he played that very well in this game.
He was very good defensively as well. And when he wants to go up a level, he is a very good player. They just need to figure out how to keep that motor cranked. And I think if you're your Celtics, you're hoping it goes back down for Game 5.
Speaking of cranking motors, does that work? Are we going to talk Draymond Green at all?
I mean, we can.
I feel like...
What's your hot take on Draymond Green?
I can't verify this, but I saw even his mom on Twitter was saying, I don't know who this Draymond is. So is this...
Like he toned it down?
No, like the Draymond who impacts winning, who makes winning plays, even when he's not scoring.
He had some moments.
He had some moments.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, but the problem they're having is...
Are you worried that the real Draymond will show up eventually?
I don't know. I'm not worried that offensively the Celtics are clearly just challenging him to shoot, and he hasn't been able to make them pay. He did make them pay. Fourth quarter, I remember one play vividly where he was in the paint and he kicked it to Looney for like a layup as part of that run, and then that's the plays he can continue to make, and that's where you got to just remember that he's still Draymond and he has a high basketball IQ. But certainly it's just a little bit jarring when he has bad nights now, and when I was doing podcasts with the Bay Area folks, they were saying this is when Draymond has been great. Like the finals, he just goes up another level no matter how old he is. But, I mean, bad games, he has more time to work on his podcast rundown.
Oh, snap. Give us some more X's and O's, Draymond. Tell us the game plan.
I don't think he really he gets snappy about that question.
That's a joke, Chris.
Sorry. Not really in a joking mood.
Game 4 of the finals. We had lobster today. I feel like...
Did you have the crop?
I really thought that maybe someone knew something because they were breaking out the lobsters because they knew that we wouldn't have to come back.
So actually, that's how I was going to open this podcast, by saying if it's between the shirts with the banner 18 and the lobster, and there was like barbecue, there was crab cakes. Did you get any crab cakes?
I did get some oysters Rockefeller. I did get a crab cake, yes. And I said no to clam chowder. You don't want to join us? You want to come in? You sure?
We're striking out on guests left and right tonight, so no one wants
welcome.
to do. All right, let's finish.
Celtics assistant Steve, by the way.
Let's end on a positive note, Abby. I'm going to bring some energy here. Here we go.
All right, let's do it.
We had to do like 9 edits because you just been a loose cannon today. What happens in Game 5?
I will take responsibility for my actions, and I am looking forward to Game 5. Chris, I know you're so down right now, and you're trying to bring me with you, but I won't. The Celtics have been so good on the road this season. When their backs are against the wall, they have not dropped consecutive games at all in this postseason, and Jayson Tatum is due. I feel good.
Okay, so you're making me feel good. I will say, here's where I'm trying to avoid the overarching reason for my downerness is that my big fear throughout everything that we've seen, from the 2 7-game series before this as well, was that the Celtics have been the better team in every series. I don't know if they necessarily deserve to win this series because you have to go out there and earn it, but they had the talent to win it. And my big fear is that we're going to look back with the regret at missed opportunities, including nights like this. And so I am hopeful that eventually here, along the way, we have now been playing playoff basketball for what seems like 6 months.
Forever.
If the Celtics the Celtics could just collect themselves and sort of understand the magnitude of the moment, that they could be a little bit more crisp with their turnovers, if they could lock in a little bit more offensively when they need to, and maybe that would deliver them to a more happier place than I'm at right now.
I think we might all be a little bit happier, Chris, but that's not who this Celtics team is. And as Al Horford told me tonight, they are still growing. They are learning from their lessons.
He's 36.
He is the OG. Everyone else, Jayson Tatum is 24. Jaylen Brown is 25.
Yes.
Guys don't hit their primes until they're 28 in the NBA.
So far past my prime.
This is the cherry on top.
The cherry on top for you guys is that you made it to the end of this episode. So you can go ahead and like, subscribe, check us out on the YouTube page. We're going to go pack our suitcase.
You know what? I think this might be me and Gorman's fault. I don't want
Did
to
you jinx
slander the Hall of Famer, but he did say the P word earlier. And then I said the D word. Parade and duck boats. Don't get it twisted. For the record.
Check us out on your favorite podcasting app. We'll catch you next time on the Celtics Talk Podcast.